Welcome, YouTube pipe smokers. Hope you're having a great one. I'm going to smoke a cigar to start off the evening. Got a couple of pipes for the evening, and one of them is one of my own. And then I've got a few I'll show you that I'm really excited to get the rest of the way on. One is a commission. Two of them I hope to make to sell. So it's going to be cool. If there's any issues whatsoever, please feel free to let me know. And the worst thing about this, I turn this on and it's really bright on the screen. But it's beautiful, so it makes it hard for you guys to see it. It's frustrating. But I have all sorts of lights I can change around a bit. It's not too bad. I should have brought that. I actually have a lamp I should have brought out here, but I forgot. But I hope you're having a great evening. Because I am. I feel good. I did attempt to make like 8 videos earlier. And I'll tell you that for some reason, my videos weren't working right. I just couldn't get in the groove. So I'm going to smoke an Oliva 2 cigar to start with. And then I'll lead on to some pipes. And what am I forgetting? Oh, I had a utility knife. I was going to cut the end of this off. So I'm just going to have to munch it. If you do it right, it doesn't bug you. We don't do it right, it's terrible. But I hope you're doing well. I'm excited to see family tomorrow again. And we're going to get some help to some family getting some different furniture. And they're going to help us out because they're getting rid of some. Hey, Jeff, buddy, how you been? I have found the most terrible box of my cheap matches that usually don't fail me. The good thing is with every fail, that's one less bad one. Dang. Usually these are pretty good for cheap matches, so. I don't know how many it is. I should count them. If I get one good light out of this, I'll be surprised. Let's just skip some steps. Let's try 2 at once. They can fail together. Hey. We tried 2 at a time. That's all it took. That was ridiculous. Oh, been good, man. Been good. Really, really good. Had a rough little bit of time the other day with some colitis pain, you know. And the worst of it only lasted about 4 hours. It did carry over a little bit till today for discomfort off and on, but man, I posted some pictures and stuff, videos on Instagram, and some on what I could on YouTube. And I invite you to check them out, man. They're real relaxing. We did 9 straight hours of hiking. The lady talking said most people hike around 2 to 3 miles per hour, roughly, give or take. Like professional walk, like flat walking, you're looking at 3 to 4 miles per hour, where somebody like speed walking, a professional, would be around 5 miles an hour. And she figured when we were done with the time we made on everything that we consistently did 4 miles an hour, which would put us at about 36 miles, even with about the total 45 minutes to an hour of any breaks through the day, hanging out at the waterfall, stuff like that. But we also did them while doing those kind of climbs with rocks and stuff. So we were moving quick. And we went on this trail. The park manager suggested a couple. And I said, okay. And it's a pretty new park. And she said, you know, there's a shoreline trail that's real nice. And they have a rating of easy, intermediate, advanced, something else, and then really difficult. So I said, you know, we could probably do intermediate. So there was this trailhead that the part we went in said granite trail, and the next said shoreline. So we said, well, despite the map, we don't want to do shoreline. We want to go up and check out granite. I don't want to do shoreline. I was actually looking for a hidden waterfall. So we got, hello, how you doing, Yornik and or Kate? So we decided, well, we don't want to do shoreline. Well, little did we know that starting on the shoreline trail about 50 feet around the corner was the option to keep doing shoreline or turn towards the waterfall path to start. But we did go up granite, got some phenomenal pictures, and I can't believe it actually was hidden. Like, I don't care. They're like, well, it's not hidden if it's on a map. Yeah, it is. It really is. There's a picture I put up, and I'll have to recite it so that people know. There's these 4 boulders that look like they're just a dead end. In fact, when we were leaving the falls, it looked like a dead end. I was like, well, where do we go now? And I had to remember, oh, yeah, between the boulders that you couldn't even tell you could squeeze through. But we said, let's jump in the moment. We took off our socks and shoes and waded through this snow melt off. And, I'm getting a message. I gotta behave. But it was really cold water at first. It really felt like colder than ice, even though it wasn't frozen anymore technically. But feeling that silt and then feeling those dang little rocks, Of course, I messed my foot up, just a little baby scrape. I mean, nothing but the bruise. When your foot's cold like that and you still feel kicking a rock. But I only kicked one rock. I did pretty good. And the water went as deep as about 4 feet and as shallow as just nothing. But then there was, oh, hey, Greg. How you doing, buddy? It's been a bit. Good to see you. Oh, incredible. Incredible. We're hoping to return this year. I don't know if we'll get to. We'll try. If not, we're making plans for next year. But we'll try to, because now we know our way around. We're experts. As fast as you can become an expert for wandering around a mountain. But we did go up a few mountains. We went up one called Elm Peak, and that is at just over 10,000 feet. We wanted to go to the one that was over 12,000 feet, but the morning we were ready to go up there, they had closed the road part way up both sides. So normally it's like 40 minutes from our hotel. And the other option was an extra 2 hours and 10 minutes around, and both, it didn't matter. They were both closed. So we said, well, we'll do the best we can. We're surrounded by mountains. We'll just go up all of them. Bridget, Paul, Jacob, and Buffy, welcome. Good to see you. Hello, Patrick. Good to see you again, buddy. But that was crazy. The first Elm Peak was insane. That the views. My wife and I have pictures for the backgrounds of our phones now that I think will stay there possibly forever. Unreal. And then we went to a place called Vitawoo, and that was amazing. We found a dead elk near the trail by some rocks. I'm like, well, good way to, start the second mountain climb. May as well see some dead animals and hope that there's no mountain lion nearby. Oh, this is Restream, and it's actually quite amazing. So you just Google this in. I'll type in the box. You can just Google it. You do restream.io. Now, I have a version that is a pay version. There's a free version, but it's like half or a third of the price of most things. And you can email a picture to yourself, open it in another tab, upload onto here, and it'll show up, and you can put it right in the video. It's really awesome. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's really cool. Now, I don't have a very expensive laptop. This was just for videos, and I didn't know what I was doing. But it works. I can host with up to 3 other people or 4. And then because of the not high quality PC, so to speak, it doesn't do very well. It'll start lagging. But I can host with one other person, and it's pretty good. So anybody that has probably any other laptop will do better, because this was a cheapie. It was a good one on sale, and this is all I got it for. But it does really good with videos and stuff as well. If you want to watch like Netflix or something, it does really good. And it was inexpensive. I think if I remember right, it's like a $250 laptop that I got on sale like 150 or something like that. But it's great for what I got. We got Smarty Bob in the house. How you doing, brother? Todd, great to see you, man. Papa Bear is in as well. I'm smoking an Oliva 2 or Oliva 2nd. And I've got a couple of pipes with me to smoke. And then some I'm working on. So this is one I'm really excited about. I wanted to do more of a bold but really flat bit at the mouthpiece. So this does have some more work. I just did what I could the other day and stopped because, we were going to go out of town the next day. But this one's really nice. And Mabu says hi. She is here with us. It's just not letting her comment for some dumb reason, so I'll have to figure that out. But this will take a little bit more work. What fits smoothly. Pretty good start. Oh, nice. Dol Guldur. And this has some great plateau, as you can see. So just a matter of, I just wanted a good pipe to put up available. I might bring this down. I just wanted kind of a nice, dense, solid pipe for whatever use. Then I'm doing a paneled, sort of kind of something different. Thinking of doing like now I can't even think of the name. It's driving me nuts. But it's going to be paneled. It's cute. Has some more sanding to go. But at a very comfortable stem. It's a nice one. This might show it better. That's still in the work. And then I finally started that one. I don't think the one that Patrick meant, but it's going to be, I can't even think of the name, but I finally got going more. This is the last one I did a bit on before leaving town. Actually, I see that I'll have to have my dad saw another corner off. I was thinking we did that, but I got another corner. And so this will be the front. It'll be rounded. And you can sort of see the shape, sort of. Goes in slanted. So it's going to be pretty. And the drilling turned out really good. On the chamber, didn't have much move, so it's easy. I'll have the nice rim on it, and it'll fix itself. And the next challenge is just the draft hole. But I do love the plateau that's going to be on the front. Oh, that's nice of you guys. Yes, she wants to comment. Tell her it's having a technical error, so what can you do? Mabu. You got it, Kate. Oh, yeah. Well, see, it's this last week has been really interesting because it's gone the whole time we were there. We had like t-shirt weather and an evening or two of a short time where we went to eat that I put a button front on. Piper said, how you doing, bud? Yes, I am going to work on the hawkbill. I think that's the one. That sounds right. That sounds right. It's been a long week. It's been a long week. Very good week. And then today was moving this down to the garage. So I've got this in the garage now. And the garage is looking really clean and good. And I just have my sawhorse, other than things for pipe work, I just have a box and this chair and the TV stand. And nothing else is in the floor. So it's all on the wall kind of stuff. Yeah, and then there were 2 times, well, technically 4 times, but 2 of those times when we were on Elm Peak, which was the 10,000 plus foot one, we had clouds way in the distance. So I was talking to Mabu about it. I said, it's sneaky with mountains. You always want to keep an eye out for clouds in the distance, because all of a sudden in 5 minutes they can be on top of you, and then you might have a bad storm, which would not have been good as high as we were, because it was pretty steep. So fortunately, after about 20 minutes or so of hiking, the clouds just flat out turned around and went the other way. I couldn't believe it. I agree with you, Patrick. Hey, Smarty Bob. Well, it is getting better. We were able to get a fan set up despite being in the crawl space trying to get this. I wasn't in the crawl space, but that's, the area that you could see the moisture. So bathroom is good. We've gotten everything put into totes or ready for basically the trash. We had where you get a couple of the same like shampoos, and one bottle's almost empty and one you open because you forgot the other one was almost empty. So we combined stuff. So we got rid of some stuff. Mabu did most of the packing up of that, and she did fantastic. And we moved a desk and a dresser and the recliner. And yeah, the water damage is terrible, because I can't see until we get the flooring up. I can't see how much on the surface, just under the flooring, how badly it is. But you can see on the bottom of that 2x8 that it's got a considerable. It's been doing this a while, because you can see the water running about 6 feet, and that takes a lot to get through that kind of wood. So they're definitely going to have to gut it and see what's going on behind the faucets. But they said we're going to rebuild it. It's all. I said we got to get this fixed once and for all. 100-year-old house, you can't have water damage. So, well, any house, honestly. But we're gonna everything, the panels, the tub, the inlay for the shower, everything. Everything's going to be gone, and we'll see what we have left and get the pipe off, everything fixed or replaced, and just go again. The pipe smoking knife maker. Good to see you, buddy. Definitely. We have been saving to work on that bathroom for a long time. We didn't want it to be now. Originally, we had saved to redo a lot in the basement, and we decided to just keep most of that as is, replace the windows, and make it into storage. We did have it set up for a guest room and living room, and then a freezer room, just a real small, narrow kind of closet for storage with shelves and stuff. So we said, let's not get carried away. Instead of building a bunch of shelves and all that stuff, let's just clean it all up real good. We carpet cleaned a few times because the carpet's old. It's in good condition. It's old. So we decided to save on that. And I'm glad we did, because on top of saving more, that's going to pay for the basement or for the bathroom. Yeah, so what's everybody smoking, and what are you smoking it in? And how has your Saturday been? And if this noise is bugging you, just let me know. I've just got a little air purifier here. It's not really needed. I just left it going so I could, when I swept and did stuff, anything got in the air, it'd just take care of it. But that's been a while now, so it's good. So if you guys are bothered by it, just let me know. When I rewatched one of my 8 failed attempts at a video earlier, it sounded like a waterfall. In a mirror. I need to smoke my meerschaum at some point. Key Largo and a Tom Sawyer. Nice. Oh, cool. Then that's either good that my phone picks up noise or, good that my laptop doesn't. I won't argue with that. RD, good to see you, buddy. How you doing? Good to have you with us. What are you smoking? What are you smoking it in? Oh, man. Steak on the grill for your dad's birthday. Awesome. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, Paul. I'm glad, buddy. I love those ones, and I got to thank you because you added to the inspiration of a lot of those in that series of blends, and they turned out to be pretty strong, pretty good quality blends. I was really happy with them. Happy birthday from us to your dad. That's really great. I feel spoiled, though. It took us 12 years to get on the vacation we wanted. And man, I ate steak. We had the hotel breakfast, which was really good, actually, for hotel breakfast. So we had that 3 days. And then we tried 2 other restaurants. And then we ate at one restaurant twice. But yeah. Oh no, we had another restaurant on the way back. So out of, I think, 7 meals or whatever it was, 4 of them were steak. If you don't include breakfast, just lunches and dinner. So I was pretty happy. They had pretty good prices for good steaks. My goodness, they were good. I don't know if I should show the last one. And I don't think they gave me a 16-ounce prime rib. I think they gave me like a 30-ounce. I don't know, but that sucker was like this. Yeah. plate size, awesome. I can't even believe that was at a Texas Roadhouse on the way home. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Steak is not cheap. I just, for the restaurant, it was. The 16-ounce prime rib was $22. And anymore you eat anywhere, it's $20. I'm like, yes, please. And that came with salad and fries. It was, I'm like, okay, I'll take it. And we don't have great steakhouses here. We have no real steakhouses. Like we have Applebee's. And what I do understand, including like the calories, but include the calories and the ounces. Drives me nuts. I mean, like it could be a steak this big with 12,000 calories if they dump, just bathe it in butter for an hour. I'm like, that does not tell me the size. Don't bother with it. Size matters when it comes to steak. Oh, I haven't had a porterhouse forever. Awesome. Yeah, I don't usually do steak and eggs. I have before. I've had maybe, I don't know, a handful of times. But usually if I'm in the mood for steak, I'm just not in the mood for eggs. Or if I'm in the mood for eggs, it's breakfast, and I don't know. I just don't usually have a steak going. I could eat steak every day. I'm just trying to help everybody out there who's against people eating meat because I'm trying to protect their organic grass and just I hate it. You got people out there that just destroy habitats to eat salads. I can't stand it. But I did do my part. I did eat some green beans. I did slaughter a whole family of green beans for that steak. It was terrible. I hate to do that. I really do. Wiped out some onions. You're not wrong, Kate. But they did really good. Texas Roadhouse is in Wyoming, and it was really, really good. I'm really glad they survived the family business shutting down involved with the political side of COVID. I'm not saying, you know what I mean, so we're just going to leave it at that. Glad you liked it. Hell, could you imagine organic lawn clippings? When I was working at a grocery store, one of the guys I worked with, his dad had worked with my dad. And his dad was much older, old enough to be my grandpa. And he'd worked with my dad years ago. And so we'd always tease each other. And he said, you know what I did? He said, I worked and worked and worked until I could afford a cow. And he said, when I got a cow, I mowed lawns and kept the grass clippings and fed my cow with that. And that's how he got started. He did pretty good. And I always think of that now. I'm like, man, you mow people's lawn. If you want to keep the grass, it's like $20,000 a bag. Tuna steaks can be really good. I've had a couple of really good ones. Black Rifle coffee is really good. Baked fish, brown rice, and kale. That sounds very good, actually. Yeah, if anybody wants to be vegetarian or vegan, I'm not, to each their own. I'm not going to hate on them. Mostly I'm just singling out the people that hate on me for eating beef. You can choose what you want to be. I mean, we were born with both types of teeth. We're omnivores. All of us are still omnivores because we have those sets of teeth. So if some families want to only eat beef and become carnivores over the next 1,000 years of evolution, that's fine. And if people want to become herbivores, it's so weird being this comfortable in the garage. I'm not gonna lie. I'm used to those seats. They aren't too bad, but it's nice. I feel like I should be looking around seeing my living room. I don't know if I'm gonna work on pipes tonight. I was hoping to this afternoon, and I just got tired. I mean, yesterday, heck, I went to bed at 6. Before that, I had my feet up for a while, and I tried to get on the computer for a little bit, and I think I was on there 15 minutes, and my body's just like, go to bed. So I went, rested, took a little nap, got up, ate, brushed after a bit, and went back to bed. But I mean, we climbed. What did we climb? 4 peaks in 2 days. Went to an 8,000 plus foot waterfall, a 10,000 plus foot peak, just under 8,000 peak with some amazing wind. Oh yeah, so the one place we went to, the Vitawoo hiking, there's trails all around there. And the one we chose was, we could have gone right or left, and we went left. And there were several trails before you'd go to much harder trails. They were kind of dead ends, but they'd loop around like big boulders and stuff. And this one we took got us way up. And these rocks are like, you just can't explain how they're like that, how they got that way. I mean, you have 2 different sized boulders on top of other boulders, like one huge one that you're walking up, and then a roof over it that's got to weigh 10,000 pounds at least. Huge, like 15 by 15 slats of granite. How on earth? I'm sure there were things and things fell, but some of them didn't have anything around them to fall. So it's really cool to see. So you get in those caves, and it was really just like a foot difference or so of climbing, where it was totally quiet to wind with the trees. And then when you got higher, you could notice the line in the air of where the winds came over and turned the little caves we went through into wind tunnels. It was awesome. Pomegranate, fresh corn, broccoli, onions, garlic, tomatoes, and carrots. Season them with oil with balsamic vinegar. Nice. And I have my vegetarian days. I do. I have days where I'm just like, I need some veggies. Let's go. And I'll make a bunch of, I may have ham or chicken. We often have chicken or fish or whatever. But we always put sides with it. So a lot of times I'll saute mushrooms, or I'm really, really good at cooking Brussels sprouts. And I'll season them up nicely. Man, I can make some really good food, I can't believe. Then sometimes I'll char just the outside of the Brussels sprouts. If I don't choose to use a lid, if I just want to give it a little crunch and then season it and still have the middle be perfect, man, that's pretty good. I will say it was nice to eat at some new places we tried. Well, I think the place was Anona's, and it was a Thai restaurant, so we did have pad Thai. Uh-oh, I made Mabu laugh. I turned my volume off so I wouldn't. Yes, yes, Mabu, like you eating salads. Yeah, 2 steak meals, 1 Mexican meal, another steak place, a Thai place. Oh, and she said, okay, ignore me, that's fine. I'm sorry. Mabu's laughing at me. I'm going to turn this notification back on, Mabu. So I don't lie. She told me don't lie. I'm not being rude. I'm having an argument live. This is scary. You know, you can send me to the garage, but you're welcome to join me. Yeah, and the cool thing was we ran into a friend I had gone to college with. Didn't have the guy's number anymore. It was on a previous phone that I had deleted everything, factory reset kind of thing. And what was it he had? You should. He had what was it called, honey? Was it the seafood? It was just called seafood soup. But that was really good. That had huge oysters and scallops and clams and squid. Oh, it was just seafood soup, but it was really good. And I had and I had rice noodles in it. And I had sesame chicken because I didn't know what to have. And since Mabu was getting pad Thai, I was like, I'll try hers. And we had those rice wraps that were so good, especially the rice part. I was like, I could eat a stack of those. And their crab rangoons were to die for. My goodness. No, actually, I'd known him far enough back, Patrick, that there was not a cloud. That was not a thing at the time. And don't make me sound old, Mabu. You know I have to repeat what you say. Yeah, spring rolls with peanut sauce, and that was great. That was excellent. And he changed his number too, so it was just one thing after another. But anyway, I couldn't believe it. Ran right into him. I'm like, no, that's not the person. And we sat down and ordered. I'm like, oh my gosh, it is. Like, come on over and eat. Oh, okay. So now Mabu says, I didn't say anything, but since you did, you old fart. Well, 2 days, I had forgotten my wallet at home before the trip. Okay. So the third time, I remembered it, I think, or she remembered it. I was going to leave it at home and I was trying to find it. I forgot it. She picked it up and then left it in a different vehicle. So she had to buy me some hiking boots and she did not want to. But she did get shoes out of it too. And then I bought her vacation. And then she bought me snacks. All in all, it was really good. That was not nice to call me an old fart in front of all our friends. How dare you? If you're not sitting in a corner, Mabu, you should feel in trouble anyway. Oh, nice tip. That actually kind of sounds good. Oh, and then she says, I didn't have to read it out loud. See, this is how it's going. And she says, I am actually sitting in the corner, LOL, but I don't feel like I'm in trouble. Oh, what kind of mustard? Is it just standard mustard? Dijon mustard, honey Dijon, Grey Poupon. Did you guys ever see that Family Guy episode with the Jawas and the two sand crawlers? They're sharing Grey Poupon. That was great. I've been pretty good. Mabu's been a trooper. I do not know how we hiked as long as we did. I'm going to say it right now. My legs have been not great for years, and by the end of it, I was about falling over. But I still can't believe it. And Mabu had a couple of slight knee injuries when she was younger. And by the time we were done, she was noticing them a little bit. But my goodness, it was so beautiful. It was ridiculous. Like, I could just live there. I'd be fine with it. Except when it's wintertime most of the months of the year. But, gosh. And then when we got to the waterfall, it had rained on us slightly all the way up there. And then over this opening, we're sitting on some rocks before it went back under the waterfall, because it was like a ceiling kind of, and then a hole in the middle or in the back. And I'm thinking, man, that 5 minutes of sunshine we had is, here come the clouds. We're going to have to hurry down. And it cleared up, and we got to sit there for, I don't know, 30 minutes or so and play in the water and walk on sharp rocks and watch little ground squirrels run all over and try to befriend Mabu. Yeah, can you pass the Grey Poupon? That's probably true, Patrick. I'm glad I at least got this recliner. Oh, I love super spicy stuff. That sounds good. I've never tried spicy maple mustard. I would imagine it'd be good. Oh, thank you, Kate and Patrick. See, I think I still have. Oh, I do have it. Let's see if I can. I should put some more pictures at some point on here. I'm not going to bother tonight. Open it up email. I just don't feel like it. But this is Mabu, because she's always right. So she's like, am I right now? How do you answer that one, mister? See, that's you, Mabu, when you know you're right. And when I'm right, I'm like, oh my gosh, it finally happened again. Once every 2 years. Oh yeah, I should put more pictures on Discord. I should, of the trip. Thank you. I was going to do that today, and we got busy cleaning everything and moving stuff. That's probably true, Patrick. And that's me singing to the wildlife to keep bears away, and at the same time being left alone by human beings as well. We actually we were ready to see, well, we were expecting to see mountain lions, but we saw some deer, and the one elk at Vitawoo that was like 5 feet off the trail, 5 to 10 feet, kind of leaning against a tree, had mostly been eaten, and there was still a lot of meat on one leg. So I'm like, is that stashed by something that's going to be protecting it? Oh, Mabu says true. I could be sleeping in the garage tonight. Yeah. Yeah, elks, deer, ground squirrels, or chipmunks. Different birds. We saw this really bright, average sized bird, but it was bright yellow with an orangish red dome. Really beautiful. I was going to look at, oh, yeah, we saw beavers, and we saw, I'm trying to think of what else we saw. We heard lots of everything. I'm pretty sure I saw a trout, but where the rocks were was hard to know for certain. And we did find something interesting that I thought was going to scare Mabu. We found 2 rocks with obvious blood patterns on them from some poor victim of a mountain lion, probably. Thank you, Paul. Yep. Several throughout the whole hike up there to the waterfall. And it was cool enough. You know, they said people were saying it's better to go for mountain climbs when it's a little bit later than we went. But it was honestly absolutely perfect the entire trip. You know, to be walking somewhere in town the first day and get sprinkled on that cools you off a little bit, but nothing big. Get a couple times in the forest, get a little bit of rain, but it wasn't humid and never got hot. Like, we're used to 110 plus degree summers. So we ran into one guy who was saying, and everybody was friendly. This one guy was saying, well, it's pretty. I go, man, it's gorgeous today. He's like, oh, it's pretty hot here. And he's like, it never gets more than 90 there. And I'm like, it's 82 degrees or 80 degrees. And we're just walking with that nice mountain breeze coming through. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's hot. Come over here on the plains where every blade of grass is like a magnifying glass. But it felt really good to be home, and we got to take a shortcut home that we don't usually take, and it was just a nice drive. And it didn't feel too long coming back, which usually it does. And the best thing was, where we went's only a couple hours away. We could do a day trip. That's the best part I keep forgetting about. You could go there one morning, hike a trail, eat some lunch, hike another trail, eat some dinner, and come home. The only tricky part is there's a pass that can block you in without really any notice. Although a couple of the places we hiked, you wouldn't have to go through that pass. They're right outside it. So, but most of the restaurants are near that town. Although they do have those ones they were talking about in Kurt Grouty, which is fairly new to being open in Wyoming. They have places to eat, so you don't even have to leave. Oh, you got it. Absolutely. And then tomorrow I get to move furniture because today wasn't enough. But then within the next couple days or so, next few days, I'll be making more pipes. I really want to get a bunch done and made available. And they're closer now. I just didn't have the energy, but what the heck. Yeah, prayers for you both. I hope everything's okay. I hope it's a good kind of thing. Is Yornik pregnant? I'm just I'm just kidding. I could just it's all right. I'll do it another time. Yeah, we'd love to know to wish you the appropriate amount of prayers and stuff. Okay. We'll still keep you in prayers. I was right. My dad was right. You know, for years, my dad says, there's something wrong with your head. And then for years later, I felt that. And they scanned and they couldn't tell what issues it was. And turned out I was right all this time. I could feel I was having seizures. No one wanted to believe me. But as far as you know, good one. That's true, Patrick. It drives me nuts. I could go on a rant, but I'll try to be I'll try to be appropriate. So Troy, how are you doing? Got to have some nice chats with Lurker Troy and lives the other day. Hope you're doing good, buddy. It was actually nice. So the worst thing was about the whole thing. The only thing, and I'm not going to let it bother me, but the worst thing was the pool was incorrectly chlorinated. But the hot tub was nice. And Mabu has like a natural shield or immunity to any type of chlorine, apparently, because she was fine sitting in it. And I'm like, man, by the second night, I dipped my feet in it. Felt like a chemical bath. But we just didn't go to the pool the second night. So or third night. So it's like, okay, whatever. Wasn't that bad. We didn't have to go. Wait, what am I? Hey, you said blame your epilepsy. What am I blaming my epilepsy for? And then you laughed at me. See, I forgot. And I lost my phone today for the bleach fine. Yeah, I did blame my epilepsy for that. I said maybe it's too much stimulation. fine. I'm just blaming your superhuman strength against chemicals. Nice, Kate. Well, my schedule is actually going back pretty close to normal, how it had been for a while. Oh, that's true too. Mabu smelled like, well, I did too, but she smelled like bleach strong for 2 days, taking 2 showers a day. And one of those days taking 3 showers. That's a lot of bleach. Yeah, I won't go on summer break. I got pipes to make and trips to take and pictures to post and lots to do. We want to hike around here. We may soon because it's going to get real hot. We've already had a couple of snakes around. No rattlesnakes. We had a bull snake on the road, and then we had a bull snake. My dad was mowing where we're going to plant some trees, and we were walking over there one evening, and a huge bull snake. That sucker's been. My dad said, "Well, he's doing good because when I burnt some fires on some, burnt some stumps down, there was a bunch of mice that ran out. So he figured he'd been living over there near the ditch, eating a bunch of mice." I like bull snakes. If I have to not hate a snake, I like bull snakes. Because a bull snake is easy to identify. It has black and yellow rings around its tail for a good amount. And that's what you look for rattlesnakes. You look at the tail, they're like, okay, bull snake. Now, the only time they're really aggressive is if it's a female that just laid her eggs somewhere near. They will protect it before they abandon them. They will protect the den for a while. And they can rarely and occasionally, they will mate with rattlesnakes, so you can get a dangerous hybrid, but usually they can't reproduce once they're the hybrid version. But they usually will actually kill rattlesnakes, so they're useful. Oh, excellent, Patrick. Good morning, Smoking Saeed. How you doing, bud? $5. It is 9:19 p.m. or 9 p.m. either way. My time, it's 11 p.m. Eastern time. Good to see you. So it's a nice start of your day. So if that's the case, is it Sunday for you, Yusuf? I think it is. I'm probably wrong. I think it is. Okay. I know it can be the other way, and we got friends from everywhere on here. We got them from Tasmania and Japan and Great Britain, Switzerland, man, just everywhere, all over the U.S. Yeah, and 9:20 here. I was just rounding to the closest hour. Almost getting to where I'll smoke the rest of this in a pipe. These are really good. Yep, Australia, Chile, Iran, all over the U.S., so I won't name specific places. We got them everywhere. New Jersey. Fine, I will. New York, Tennessee, I think Arkansas, California, Florida, everywhere. Wisconsin, that's right. I can't think all where right now. My brain's slowing down. I know it's scary. But it's been a great day. In fact, I felt so good. Even after I could barely move from all the hiking those few days, that I actually felt enough energy. I feel awake enough that if my legs were still good, I could keep going. I could go hike again. And I even did some working out a bit with my upper body, and I was like, I feel good. Why can't my legs feel this good now? But then the next day, I did feel it more, and my wife and I are still walking around like we're old. And she was laughing at me yesterday because I was about crawling up the stairs. I go, you're not supposed to look. And Canadians. Nice. Yeah, and we'll be doing Tumultuous Tuesday back at the original time of 8 p.m. Eastern. So if anybody's interested who doesn't know, feel free to check out my About section on YouTube and just send me an email, and then I can get you the invitation link in email, or you can check me out on Instagram, and I can send it that way too if you have it. But it's pretty fun. Tom York, nice to have you, bud. Hope you're doing well. No, I mean the original before that change. When we were doing volunteer work and having meetings all the dang time, I did have to change it to later. But now the season for that is done. So I'll do Tumultuous Tuesday at 6 my time, which is 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. So back to the original. I'm going to try to do that every chance I get. Keep these the times they are, the 8 p.m. Eastern for the live on Saturdays, and the Tuesday Google Meets at 8 p.m. Eastern. Or 9, because sometimes we've had that happen, but we do what we can. Well, it's great to see you, Tom. Even for a little bit, I'll take it. And I hope work goes very well for you, buddy. I mean, I got to give Tom a nice smile. I don't know. I always feel like this when Everett shaves. Like, what'd you do, man? Good. Oh yeah, I was gonna smoke some. Oh, I dropped something, but it's not important. Some Sun Bear Wolf I didn't take any with me on the trip. You know, I brought everything on the trip, and especially when we're seeing the waterfall, I didn't do much pipe smoking because I figured I would be the guy that if somebody else, I had a tin and everything to light my match, put it in there, and everything's fine. I was like, I'd be the guy that got blamed for someone else starting a fire. So most of that I didn't, but I would have loved to. But I did get to smoke a pipe a bit the first mountain. But the rest not very much. I did take a break in the car and do that between trails because it helps. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Cape Town, very nice. Moscow. What did I say? Moscow. I knew that. Nice. We were trying to catch up with your winners last year. My goodness. I'm smoking a bad batch of these matches. Usually, I have tremendous luck with these matches. That's right, Mabu. Somebody can't light their pipe. Thank you for the encouragement. How many yards of snow? That's like it. I'm smoking some Sun Bear Wolf. It's a custom blend made for Bear Wolf, made May 1st. And I wanted to give it that proper month, so I made a little jar for myself to see how it aged, and it's holding up nicely. And Mabu's making fun of me because I can't light my pipe worth a dang. Mabu, behave yourself. You go ahead and just stay in that corner. Oh, good one, Patrick. I almost smoked some of that today, actually. Don't start, Mabu. Mabu bought me these matches. You know, some people take 2 matches to start a pipe. I take 25. Usually they're good. What do you mean I bought those? Did you buy them with my money? Gone and Hogarth, rum flake, nice. It's okay. I'm doing myself a favor and using these crappy things up. Look at that. Nothing. Captain Kirk, how you doing, buddy? The world's suckiest matches sometimes. Aha! That one wouldn't go out. I'm not saying it's user error, Patrick. This user has errored a lot, but in this case, it's not me. Because I used the same matches the whole trip and had no trouble. Mabu said, you picked them out and bought them with your own money. I wouldn't buy you crappy stuff. Fine, that's true. And let's get that Mabu's face for when she's right again. I tell you. I know you. I love that face. Mr. Bean is the bomb diggity. And here is a picture of Latakia Dave, because look at those eyes. Absolutely epic. That's in the top shelf of our little 3-foot tall towel cabinet. Yes, prayer for Kate as well as Yornik. For anybody coming in that didn't hear it, just some minor things coming up early June, so just keep in mind positivity. Oh yeah. Definitely rest in peace. Thank you, Patrick. That cat is ornery. But it's funny, we went away for a night to do some hiking before this trip. And he wouldn't sit by me for a few days. He was mad. Just like not mad like attack you, but just like, I don't want anything to do with you. I'm going to hide. You left, you know. And usually, if we're going to be making trips outside to throw things away, he feels more secure when the door's not open. He's a chicken. So we put him in the bottom half of the house. We just shut the door and for a little bit, move things. And sometimes we'll rearrange. So he's like, man, first you guys rearrange, and that's weird. I got to get used to that. Then you guys leave for a day, and I got to get used to that. And then now you guys leave, then you come back and rearrange. What the heck is going on? Good one, Kate. You know, Mabu. I would say that when I'm right, yours is the bottom one, only more eye rolling, and mine's the top one. Like, yeah, leave me alone. Well, and honestly, Dave is pretty good about it. He's more curious. I actually think he does like it. He comes over and finds a new spot to get comfy, and he's a different cat. He seems to enjoy it. Paul, you have a wonderful night. Tom, you have a great night as well. Buddy, thanks for dropping by. Or no, Paul's not leaving. Sorry, I misread that. But Tom, have a good one, bud. Be well. I hope work goes great for you. I get to go to a yeah. At first, I just saw Tom saying later, Paul, and I'm like, okay, good night, Paul. Then I was like, wait a minute. I don't think I've got this right. Okay, so now Mabu wants to see a face. I don't know. We got to find one on here. This is me in the corner when I'm right. Oh, it's going to show it as a tiny one. Do I have it as a bigger one? I do. Ha. And then when I've already bought my wife something and she's like, can I please get just 20 more things? Please. Because one more for her translates to 20. She said true. I was right. In your nightmares and your dreams, he appears out of nowhere. And he ain't what he seems. That's pretty good. Yeah, so tomorrow, that's true, honey. Even if she buys it herself, she'll still, I got myself something else. And I'm like, okay, good. So tomorrow we'll celebrate a birthday. We'll get to have lunch with some friends and some family. And then moving furniture. But we might get a recliner out of the deal, so I won't argue. And this one can stay here, and I'll ever have to move it again. She says, I try to talk myself out of it, but it just doesn't work. Rowan Atkinson, yes. Oh, absolutely. That was just a shame. Have you ever seen the outtakes of Three's Company? That's hilarious and highly offensive to today's generation. And that's why I like it. My problem is if we ever had any money to move somewhere we would maybe prefer, which I don't know where that'd be, I would need to bring this garage with me, and I don't know how I'd do it because it had been moved once, and we've rebuilt it and reinforced it. It can't be moved again. But to do what we did to the garage now would be like triple the dang cost. Lagonda, how is that one, RD? Priceless. How you could get someone to have basically the same setup, but have it funny every time. Don Knotts was fantastic. Mabu says to tell everyone good night. So good night from Mabu. I haven't seen that one or read the book, actually. Okay. I need to do some more reading. I read a map a lot. And most of it was double checking. And the funny thing was, every time I used a map, the wind would go the wrong way, or you get one little edge folded weird. The map got torn up a bunch, but I wanted to double check so we wouldn't, I didn't want to make a mistake. I wanted to make sure I could help. Oh, nice. She said hugs back. Thank you, guys. Have you guys seen, I think it is The Bee and I don't remember. I haven't seen it for a while. He actually made that show really funny. I'm surprised. Not by him, but that a show about a guy and a bee could be that. That was the funniest thing since nice use. Oh, gotta love pop-up books, man. Heck yeah. But I thought, I know modern day people may call this misogynistic, but I felt like it was my job to make sure that Mabu had a great time and a good experience, and that we didn't get lost. Because if we got lost, if it was because of her, it couldn't be because of her. Because I wouldn't let myself blame her. And if we did get lost, it would be my fault. So I didn't want to get us lost. So I usually quintuple checked the map, but then once I really understood, okay, because sometimes on maps you got an area like this and it says this is going to be the advanced trail. And that advanced trail being an inch long on the page might be 10 feet, where on another section it was 50 feet. But once I got my bearing, no, he's still alive. And the show is Man vs. Bee on Netflix. Nice. I'm lost at home, but I don't know what happened. We went to the mountains and I didn't get lost. Now I did follow the first track that we did where we saw a deer. I followed that and went too far after, but it did lead us to an area with a huge lake we did want to see anyway. So it really wasn't lost. It was just we went that direction instead of the original trail we wanted to follow. But we found our way back, and by then we had cloud cover, and it was gorgeous. Oh, thank you, Paul. I didn't know. I was like, I don't know where I'm at, but there's plenty of pipes and tobacco. I guess I'll borrow this guy's chair and have a few smokes. That was a great one. It was a great one, Paul. And Paul, I am working on something. I believe I messaged you. I'm sure I did. That we had talked about before I had a few months of a rough patch. That is in the works right now as well. So I'll keep you updated and let you know. But before we left, I made really good progress on it. It's just got a ways to go yet, but it is noticeably farther along, much better. Has moved on. Nice. I do need to make. I gotta get cracking on this pipe work. It needs to be next week already. Oh, nice, Paul. That is one of my favorite blends, man. And it's crazy, blend wise and story and lore wise. It ties in so beautifully with Mordor. What a great man. Great, great, great blend. I appreciate you having that. Neither should pipe crack. I don't know why. That just doesn't sound good to me either. Oh yeah, that's right, Patrick. No rush. Oh, Troy, Tom headed out, bud. So you're okay. He took off. It's not an error. Just something you don't always hear about YouTube. Oh, awesome, Pat. You were telling me that about that game a bit a few months ago, Paul. Well, where I'm at in the Midwest, it's pretty low. Um, you could base it per capita and say, oh, that's fairly high. But actually, most of the crimes that happen here are between family members or people that got mixed in with drugs somewhere along the line, and you hear about them. This person shot this, the police were there, took care of it, and that's about it. Other than that, there's really like no people just random shooting people and any crap like that where we're at. um there's one area that you just don't really travel in the evening, but it's not, you could and you'd probably be fine. Like, so where Mabu and I are at, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm actually afraid to live anywhere else at this time. Well, and that's a huge thing, Yusuf. And that's not just happening there. And nobody get offended because this is just factual. So with how our border is, people are coming in like crazy. And they are not, I feel personally we should have a strong border with a good entry system so people could come in, get an identification given to them, have a background check and all that, get a chance to be here, and if they screw up big time, then out of here. If they've already screwed up big time wherever they're coming from, regardless of where it is, don't let them in. Which I mean by that is like, don't let serial killers and rapists, anything like that, come around him. So on that note, how our border is now, and they won't show you the border. It's terrible. People are in there like crazy. Children are getting separated from their folks just with the rush of people. It's not even people pulling them away. And children are getting kidnapped and prostituted. And that is why I am in favor of the Second Amendment, which the Second Amendment is made to make it so we can protect ourselves against tyrannical governments, which we actually are fighting against now. So that's why I tell people, I say, well, you guys, I don't know why everybody needs to have a gun. Well, most reasonable people that have the freedom to go get licensed and have a background check and get a gun, if you don't want one, you don't have to have one. You should have the right to have one, the freedom to have one, as well as the responsibility and accountability for the consequences that follow if you screw up. This idea, they're saying, well, we want to take guns away from all the citizens for safety. That's bullshit. They want to take them away because that's one of the first steps to taking over as a tyrannical government. Disarm the people. And they're welcome to come here and try. Because I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. Just saying. But it's crazy. And there's a lot of, actually, the biggest amount of slavery going on right now is female women. And that's what's sad. Kids are being exploited in many ways, but it's absolutely disgusting. They're drugging up women, putting them in suitcases, taking them to a different state in unlicensed vehicles or altered licensed vehicles, putting them to work, and if they die, they just ditch them. Right there, RD. Every state that has the strictest gun control policy has more crime. And it's because the current rules we have that need enforced, that would help the whole system, are not being utilized, and they're just trying to pull guns away from people. And that is why places like Canada, where our good friends are being walked on, can't do anything about it. You disarm the people, you take away their options. Well, and here's so you guys know how I feel about it. I feel that when you're old enough to vote, or old enough, you go sign up to vote, you're signing the agreement that you're allowing yourself to be drafted, okay? When you're doing that, or if you're getting your driver's license or whatever, you should be required, every citizen should be required to take a weapons safety course, just the general weapons safety course, in case their parents never taught them about it or whatever, and make that a requirement if they ever hope to own a weapon in the future. The problem isn't necessarily that it's too easy to get a gun, just that, okay? That's not just the only problem. The biggest problem is that criminals don't give a damn. We can do what the government's doing here now. We can make all citizens criminals for reinforcing their rights. But that does not stop drug cartels from bringing guns. That does not stop the government from hiring the 78,000 more IRS agents with guns. So, hold the individuals accountable. Don't blame the guns. Guns don't kill people. Irresponsible parents don't help. You have a case where in Omaha, Nebraska, this kid went on a shooting spree at a mall. Perfectly put, Bridget. I appreciate that. Exactly. Yeah, same here, Paul. I work security. You had to sign one out and had training. Right, you are, Patrick. See, it's easy. We all agree it could be better, and we all know ways to make it better. The problem is you have lunatics in charge. And you're going to get, how about this? How about instead of combating the American people, governments work together and stop the drug cartels? How about that? Stop the human trafficking. Stop the weakening of our military. Stop the encouragement of sexually destroying our children before they even know what that is. How about that? Let's fight that. Just saying. Why fight the farmer who, by the way, his family, helped stop a lunatic German? But why go after the farmer that shoots targets in his field with dirt in the background, who's not hurting anybody? Why go after him? But anyway, You are right. You are right, Yusuf. The lunatics are the people in right now that want to destroy. See, this is actually not a democracy. That's a word that's been snuck in for years. We're actually a constitutional republic. We are not a democracy. That is a good point, Kate. And you're right. We will talk about. I just appreciate that we can have this conversation and nobody's like, I disagree, so I hate you, or I agree with this person and screw you. You know, I like that we can share our opinions, and that's, that means a lot to me, and that's why I don't get stressed out talking about it with you guys, because we all just listen to each other, we respect each other, listen to what the others have to say, gain perspective. We've all come up with a lot of great solutions in 5 minutes, you know? Yeah, and it's been shown every time there's a democracy, it leads to tyrannical ruining of a country. And it's sad. It's absolutely tragic, because what they're doing now is trying to destroy the middle class, and then you just have the rich and the poor, the owners and the slaves. And we may not agree with, we as in all of us may not agree with slaves in any country having been part of the past, but if you start tearing down statues and getting rid of history, then you repeat. You don't learn from it. So, yes, I agree. Let's change. Well, we are smart, Kate. Thank you. Um, and I am very happy to know the men and the women in this community. I will tell you, there are some smart women in here, and it's a pleasure to have you with us all. With or without sharing a pipe, you're still family to me. See, Yusuf's got it too. He doesn't live here, and he knows how it is. Nice, Troy. Yeah. So actually, I'm waiting. My nephews should get out of school within a couple weeks. So I am excited for that. We've got some fence to fix, and I've been feeling pretty good. So I'm actually looking forward to fixing fence. It's been nice, Bridget. It's been a while since I could do that, and it's been some cooler days. I'm not ignoring you, Mabu. I'm sorry. Ooh, yeah, Mabu wants to barbecue for dinner tomorrow. Heck yeah. That'd be nice to try it. As long as the weather's good, I'm good. Heck, we've had times we'd cook in the shop if it was raining or too windy. Or Monday. Yeah, we'll try what we can do. Been a while since we barbecued, really. Anytime you want to go back, Mabu, we'll go back. and we'll go order some more steaks. But yeah, I'm waiting for him to be out. I do want to go do some more hiking around here and get some more pictures and videos for you guys. And we've got some really great local spots that I haven't really been to other than once since I've started this, mostly because of health reasons. Ooh, Kit and Paul are going to do ribs. They're having burgers and hot dogs. Nice. Mabu didn't know what to eat, so we did have spaghetti as well as hamburger patties because she wasn't sure what we should do. And to be honest, we were both exhausted from the day. But it was good. I just took the fork and held the patty and ate it, and it was very good. And then ate some spaghetti, and it was really good. So I didn't care. Pork by tomorrow, cooked by son. Beef ribs Monday, cooked by son-in-law. You just eat and watch baseball. Hey, you're in the right spot. Oh man. Now we're back to food. I love this. I'm up for it. Oh, nice. Hey, Mabu, can you put on the Discord that that video you showed me with the puppy that sits up and then the bird that gets the other puppy? That was hilarious. It's the classical music. It's even better. It's freaking hilarious dang video. Jamaican jerk chicken. That sounds good. I'm interested. Okay, she's gonna try to put it on Discord. I think. Let me see if I can get the Discord link while I'm out here. Oh, Mabu's posting food. There, I posted some prime rib to drive anybody nuts. Food grade tobacco oil. Oh man, yes. Nice, Kate. I always appreciate you and Yornik. I like that you can bring out jokes that could be offensive to people that are easily offended. I really enjoy them. Well, we've got some hills here that and some great forests, and the two big hazards are mountain lions and rattlesnakes. So that's a bit of a drag. So maybe next weekend we could do something like a hike there while it's still mildly cool before we get more snakes coming out. Oh, I have a little spider in here. I don't want you in here, buddy. You could have been outside. I actually did let a spider go. Normally I tend to kill them, but I did move one outside because he was a friendly little dude. He was I hate him. I hate the way the jumping spiders look, but he was beautiful in a weird way and really mild mannered. And I was just calm by him, and he just wanted to get up on the vacuum hose. I was knelt down by him, and he just wanted to check me out. I didn't let him get on my hand, so I had to strip a sandpaper that I used for stem work. And oh, nice, Troy. Oh, now where'd he go? Little bugger. I like them when I can see them. Where are you, you little bastard? And that's not inaccurate, because they often, once by the time the babies are born, there usually isn't a dad. So that's true, but you are right. Come on, scroll down, you. It was a gentleman spider, actually. And you're fine, Troy. Yeah. Oh, cool. I appreciate it, Bridget. And you're right, Kate. That's kind of the same thing here. They're trying, and what's funny is you watch the media, and they're really trying to enforce it and tell people this is the way it is. And the vast majority of Americans, I mean, practically every American knows what BS they're trying to pull, and so they don't go by it. But you're right. Yeah, most trees do grow in rows here. Honestly, it's really just scattered patches and mostly rows of trees. You're not wrong. We've got a monument not far from here, and some hills that are pretty famous, or fairly famous. And down a ways, we even got a small part of the old Oregon Trail, and it's just really cool. It's a good forest. Great for hiking. I haven't been there for a while. Mabu and I went, and we went quite a ways. I've been there about 3 times in my life to the forest part, and Yeah, one time something just didn't feel right. And man, when your gut tells you something's not right, it's usually right. So it's time to make a decision. And I've seen mountain lions before, but it's rare. The crazy thing is, I never saw one at this. So in this story, there was one. I had a feeling one day, and it was just uncertainty. Didn't feel like I was being watched though. Didn't feel that big a deal. And I ended up taking a different path of the trail I was going to go on. So I was going to go to the north, and I went part way, sat down by this bench. They got this shady area with stone benches, really nice, and had a snack, drank some water, and started to proceed. And it was getting, you know how people say if the ocean water is feeling a bit more sharky. Well, since I grew up here and I'm used to seeing rattlesnakes, it felt a bit more snaky. So I decided to go to the south, and the farther I got that way, I just was something I couldn't explain, just didn't feel right. And after about 15 more minutes or so of hiking, I turned around and left. And the next, well, actually, by that evening, someone had posted pictures of a mountain lion they had seen near that trail. And then they were able to get away before it was aggravated or anything like that. Um, so Mabu and I saw, when we went to the mountains the last few days, we saw the dead elk, and I did post a picture of it. And there were rocks, good sized rocks. There could have been a mountain lion hiding in a little cave or something, but I don't think there was. It looked like it maybe had eaten and left. Could have come back. I don't know. But it didn't while we were there, thank goodness. And the important thing is, if you're hiking, is to talk and be noisy and let things know you're there ahead of time. But, it's also very important to be wary. And a lot of people don't get that. They'll go hiking and just say, "Isn't this pretty? Isn't this pretty?" And they'll forget they're out in the wilderness, because you might have paved paths for most of it. Some of the paths we went on were paved for a while, and others were mostly dirt. But people will see the familiar things like man-made bridges and things like that, and they'll forget they're in the wilderness. And you can be pretty far in the wilderness, or not be that far in the wilderness, still feel like you're totally safe. And you definitely want to keep it in the back of your mind that, hey, there could be wild animals. Oh, okay. Yeah, I bet, Troy, actually, yeah. Oh, heck yeah. And welcome, Michael. It's great to see you, buddy. And then the other thing we saw that was definitely an eye opener was the blood on the rocks. My picture didn't get it all, but there was spatter, and I'm like, and I cautiously just kind of looked around a little bit, around the flank of some rocks. I kept distance, but looked around and made more noise just to make sure that nothing was immediately by us. Just being ready, and we got out of there. And fortunately, we didn't have any bad encounters. So I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. And I've learned some things about mountain lions, like those big cats don't have eye sockets, like fixed sockets. And there was a lady that had tried to stab one with a pen on maybe it was YouTube. I was watching something, and the eyeball moved away from the pen, so she wasn't stopping it. And I always figured, so I always have like a long sleeve with me, and there's this one around my waist that I had. So I was ready to keep in mind that if I saw something, to tie that around my neck and just do whatever you had to do, you know. Tuba jams. Yes, me too, Troy. And Mabu is trying to put the video on Discord, but it's given her some difficulties at the moment. Rats and pigeon and addicts. You know, I don't know, RD. I still do have some pepper spray. I will be done soon, Mabu. I won't be much later. I'm finishing up this and I'll probably go. I understand, Yusuf. Now I've not done that, but I could imagine. I've really delved into for my entire life wildlife and learning behaviors and patterns and unpredictability, best ways to help yourself. And usually, if you think you're being watched, you've already been being watched for quite a while. Yes, thank you. I was going to mention, and then I had a moment where I couldn't remember the time. And you are welcome. You guys are welcome to promote your stuff on here. Don't feel bad. I won't go, no, it's my channel. You can't say yours. You know, I'm not going to be like that. So, yes, morning prayer. Recovering Know-It-All is Michael, and he does a wonderful job. Whether you really enjoy religion, want to see it from under other people's perspectives, maybe you believe in a different religion, but I do have to say that for a person who's seen the errored ways of certain religions, even my own, where people just screw up and don't do it right, or I don't know how to explain it. I think you guys know what I mean when they just take the spirituality out of it and make it more about them and money in some cases instead of actually trying to do the right thing. Michael does a phenomenal job at making you feel like it's true, how it should be church. And once he hosted for a guy, and I have been hooked. I've really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, I can't be there every Sunday, but every Sunday that I can, I am there. My mornings are usually the most difficult, but sometimes I can be there, and it's always a good time. He does a great job. I was thinking that too, Paul. I thought that the other day. I was talking to the neighbor kid, and I said, now remember, if whether you're with your parents or you're over here hanging out with us, if you see a snake, back away, keep it in your sight till you're far enough away and you can come safely get one of us. Now, if he's over here, we're usually right with him, trying to look after him. But It's I know I'm trying to. I had a revolver years ago. I used my dad's, I believe, and they'll make them with bird shot. They're little 22 rounds that are basically mini shotgun shells. And I've only used them a couple of times, but you know, sometimes you get in a position with the rattlesnake and you are not in a position to run. Or it may be aggressive, or it may be where it's just gotten over molting, or it's starting to and it's kind of blind. Whatever the case, sometimes you just can't get far enough away quick enough and safely enough. And so I had 2 times I had to use it, and it worked. Hey, RD, it's a pleasure to share a pipe with you again, buddy. You have a wonderful night. Great to see you. I will be back on pipes this week, and I'll try to make some videos for you guys while I'm making them. Yeah, maybe we can get some more pipe making videos out, because let's face it, the world needs more. And I'm trying to stick to the Saturday lives at 10 p.m. Eastern, as well as the Tuesday Google Meets at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then as the opportunity arises, I may do some at different times and random days. But I'm going to do my best to keep those time periods free and do at least those 2. Sometimes Phil Rivara will do a later live, sometimes following mine or sometimes in place of mine if I can't do them. Also, tomorrow at noon, I think that was a Miller. I was like, geez, that's a huge spider. I'm making friends. Beowulf and Miss Kathy, formerly Kilted Piper Steve, who I always want to keep referring to him as, should have his live tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. I think. I know it's at noon, and I can never remember if that's 10. That would be 10 here if it was Eastern. I think it is noon Eastern. I don't know, but between noon and 2 Eastern, watch for Beowulf and Miss Kathy, because they do a really nice live for an hour or so. And I'll try to be there even if I have to just lurk. I will probably do a live or a Google Meet Monday, as long as there's a slot open. I might do a live on Instagram or something in the daytime. It just depends. If I'm doing really great and I can do more than just focus on making a pipe, then I'll do both. I'll do it together. But if it's a day where I'm just really focused on the pipe and don't have extra energy or focus to put into doing a live as well, then I'll stick to the pipes, because I really do need to get some pipes done and make them available, because they smoke really well, and I need to get more into the YTPC. And I've got a cluster of about 9 or 10 pipes that are just about halfway done. Some got about 6 that are really close, just needing stem work and stain. But how do you guys feel about some just natural pipes? Because I can get some done sooner if I'm not staining them. And I've got some that would be really good candidates for naturals. And maybe I'd throw some oil on them, but I'd like to make them really smooth and just get some nice naked pipes or whatever you call them out, with or without oil, whatever. But that's my goal. I just want to make a bunch of pipes. That's all I want to do. Pipes and hikes. Have a great night. Appreciate you all being here. This thing's still smoking. That's crazy. Jeez. Forgot how big this chamber was and how slow a smoke that blend is. I've got a good almost half the bowl left. Jeez. But I'm going to head in myself, get something to eat, and then wind down for the evening. See, I'm kind of the same way, and I've done a contrast stain on a couple that's keeps that look, but with some contrast, so it's still that tan, looks really nice. But I do want to do some more Rhodesians. I want to do some more Billiards, and I'm thinking of doing some more affordable and not having stain on some of them. Maybe doing some rusticated natural ones. Hopefully within the next couple weeks when I'm more caught up, I can start getting into those because I've got a good amount of blocks left. I am going to need to order some more and see what treasures are hidden in the next batch. But I do hope to I intend on doing some more Billiards, a couple of special pipes, and then maybe some Dublins as well as some shapes that I just don't do very often that I'd be comfortable with doing, and working on a hawkbill. And there's another one I can't think of the name of, and it's just driving me nuts, but I'll think of it tomorrow when I'm not focusing on it too hard. So you guys have a great night. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your time. Be sure and check out Recovering Know-It-All. Yep, 10 a.m. Eastern. And Stephen, Miss Kathy, I believe at noon Eastern. Eggs, toast, sausage, fried tomato. Oh, nice. Nice, Yusuf. And it's nice to have you with us. It's always good to see new faces. And that's really cool that it's morning for you, because that means that if I do some late night things, that there will just be more people able to see them. So, but you guys have a great night. I appreciate you all. God bless you. Be safe. And of course, remember when life gets rough around the edges, or if it doesn't, grab a pipe, light it up, jump on here. We'll get all brighted up together. Have a great day. I'll see if I can get a video out for you guys soon. Maybe Monday I can do a live hike. I don't know if that camera wobble is going to be funky. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll do a video. I don't know. We'll do something, but take care, you guys.